What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Risk Valor. I'm your host, Alyssa. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. We are here to share the stories of incredible women who have overcome adversity, all these different challenges to become exactly who they are. And we've had some incredible stories. And today I'm super excited to have Kirsten Mark here with us. She is a professional personal development and wellness coach. She has a huge platform. She is absolutely 100% authentically herself, and you'll see that here very shortly. So welcome, Kirsten.
Dude, thank you. I'm very excited to be here today. Very excited, very grateful.
No, absolutely. So, I mean, just kind of a backstory. I found you, I told you on TikTok. I'd seen some video where you said, like, I don't even know how it started. You're like, the people who say that swearing makes you whatever, you're like, first of all, fuck you. And I was like, this is my vibe. Like, this is my kind of people. And I was like, why have I not seen her before? But I was so happy. So I followed you on Instagram. I reached out and I was really happy that you connected back with me. Like, super excited to jump on here.
Yeah, dude, I looked at your page. I always go for like the vibe. I looked at your page,
Yeah.
and after like your first couple pictures, I was like, yeah, I fuck with this chick. I,
Oh,
I will respond. I will respond because you get a
yeah.
lot like as your social media grows, you get a lot of like inbound messages. It almost sometimes is impossible to
Yes.
keep up with it. And yeah, I saw your page and like creeped your podcast, and I was like, yeah, I like what this chick's doing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm excited to be here. Really excited.
Definitely. And I mean, the part that really caught me, other than the awesome personality that you already have, is the fact that you are huge in the women empowerment side, like with the wellness and the development, but also just the mindset piece. And I guess that's where my first question is going to come is how did you get to be the strong person that you are? Like, what challenges did you overcome to be able to say, fuck it, I'm just going to do me. This is my story.
Man, that's like such a loaded question, but I'm gonna do my best to I'm a talker, so I talk a lot.
Yeah.
So when I was 16, I found out I was pregnant. And so now my daughter, she's 15 years old. After having her, just like being 16 and having a baby, obviously, like that's out of the normal. Like, not
Yeah.
all my friends were like popping out kids too. So I'm like, okay, this clearly makes me different. And I felt different, but not in the sense of like different good, different bad, different judge myself for how my body looks because all my friends are wearing bikinis and I no longer feel good in a bikini. And I just struggled so much with self-confidence and like zero tools on how to manage my insecurities, how to show up more confidently,
Mhm.
like just didn't know who I was or what I was doing. And I eventually just reached a point where I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I need to get a gym pass because like this shit isn't working for me.
Yeah.
I don't feel good. I don't like what I see in the mirror. I went to the gym, and that's like the longest story short. My transformation through the gym, I went through like my highs and lows. I went through my obsessive phase. I went through my crazy transformation only to go back to like where I was before, but worse, like I've been through it all. And throughout all of it, what I realized is I was so focused on a physical transformation. But as I was going through these
Hmm.
physical transformations, I was learning habits that were helping me build this like really powerful mindset. And so it's just repetitions, dude.
Hmm.
Repetitions of like going to the gym, repetitions of being like, I'm not starting over because every time I feel like I'm starting over, I've learned something from that last chapter. And I've always been like a firecracker when it comes to like my personality. Like
Yeah.
always. I think I just almost was scared of what people would think. And just over time being like accepted by such large amounts of people on social media while at the same time being completely rejected. I'm like,
Yeah.
some people like me, some people don't. And it's something that I think a lot of the listeners will get value from is just like
Hmm.
understanding that like whether you show up as yourself or whether you show up as someone you think somebody wants you to be, people are going to judge you, man. Like they're going to judge you
Yep.
no matter what. So for me, it's like I would rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. And that I say
Yes.
that to myself all the time because if I'm
Hmm.
like saying on something from social media just to be validated, it's not coming from my heart. That doesn't feel good for me. So it's like, you don't like what I have to say, then you can fuck off. If you like what I have to say, then like, welcome to my world. Right.
I love that vibe so much. That's 100% a lot of what I talk about too is like some people try so hard to be brilliant. It's like be authentic. It comes a lot
Yes.
easier, but also it's your story. You're living for someone else at that point.
Dude,
So,
yes. And like
mhm,
being a personal trainer, it's like you almost feel like you're stuck in this box talking about macros and how to work out and how to exercise. I'm like, I don't enjoy this like at all. There's
yeah,
also just so much like critique. Some people think that this is the right way. Other people think that this is the right way. I'm like, I found the right way for me. And I know that the right way for me isn't the path that some people take, but it's what worked for me. And I just honestly found talking about fitness content 24/7 quite boring. I don't mind here and there because like I like it. I'm a gym
I get it.
goer.
Mhm,
Like I know how to work out, but I just have so much more passion and excitement and energy when it comes to transforming females. Yes, on a fitness level, but from like the inside out, like body, mind, and soul, the whole
yes,
fucking shebang. That's like cool. Like I can help you lose weight, but what's even cooler for me is like to help you lose weight and like fall madly in love with yourself. Like that gives me
yes,
goosebumps, right? Like
yeah.
that's the shit I like.
I do love that. And I kind of backtracking a little bit to something you said, it made me think about the negative piece, the haters, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
with any like major life thing, like let's say it's a breakup or you lost your job
Mm-hmm.
or something bad happens, right? The first thing, or at least one of the things you'll be told is get back out there. Except when you put yourself out there and you get back out there, that's when a lot of haters come. And it's almost like a challenge post challenge. So I would ask, how do you navigate the negativity out there? And how do you empower other people to navigate that when they're putting themselves out there? Because I mean, you deal with women who are transforming their entire lives all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I think like what comes to
I
mind is like
try.
hurt people. Yeah, you do. I'm like, that's good. I like that. I got goosebumps. Hurt people hurt people. So if you can actually like understand that someone who is intentionally calling you out is hurting themselves, I mean, like I don't necessarily feel a ton of compassion, but I can come from a more compassionate place. And it also makes me detach myself from the words that they're saying. I also think that like whatever is unfolding in your life, like you're ready for it. It wouldn't be
Hmm.
there if you weren't ready. So I've always wanted to grow on social media, but to be quite honest, like negative comments affected me for a long time. Like
Yeah.
I've deleted my social media. I've like thought about comments in my fucking dreams from people. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna freaking this is, like it gets to
Yeah.
me. And as I started like realizing like hurt people, like would rather be loved for who I am, hated for who I'm not. I think I reached this point where I was like, holy fuck, like I'm ready for growth, man. Like I'm ready to like go out into the world as Kirsten Mark. I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. And then lo and behold, I'm like, holy fucking shit. Wake up one night and I'm like, I have 500,000 followers on
Yeah.
TikTok. Like that's fucking insane. So I think hurt people hurt people. Like if you can recognize that if somebody is literally trying to tear you down, that's
Yep.
not coming from a place of love. Like when someone gives me constructive criticism and they approach me and they say like, hey Curse, like you said this and this is how I feel, like respect. Like if you want to come at me with an opinion that comes from a place of love, like I'll hear you out. But if you're behind a fake profile like Johnny 79444 and you're
No
like
picture.
fuck you, exactly, no picture
Yeah.
or like a picture of a fucking dog and it's like okay, you can't even show your face, bro, you can't even use your
Yeah.
real name, like you're probably hiding in your basement overweight and miserable, so like I feel sad for you. Like I don't care what you have to say about me, I feel sad for you. And I think on the same page, like if it's family members like or somebody that's closer to your life, maybe they are showing their true colors to your face, it's like again, like if you're doing really well, the people that are on your team and want to see you succeed will
Hmm.
cheer you on no matter what. Sometimes that's not your family, and like sometimes
Yeah.
that's not your friends. Like as I started to grow, like I might be like a friend hopper, but like I just like drop friends like flies. I'm like, hey, I'm going this way and like
Yeah.
you're not, so I don't want to, like I don't like you anymore, we don't vibe, we don't align. And it's not
Yeah.
even like this big dramatic like, oh my god, me and this person. It's like I
Hmm.
don't vibe with where you are, I don't get that like feel good feeling in my body, and so I'm just not going to have you there. And that goes for friends, families, and like sometimes like haters are disguised as our friends and families. There are people that don't want to see you win, dude. Like
Yeah.
there's three types of people. There's the people that genuinely want to see you win.
Mhm.
They'll look at you and they're like, it doesn't matter how they're doing. They just want to see you win. Like keep those people. There's the people that will like clearly not want to see you win. Those are the haters that hide behind fake profiles. And then there's the people, these are the worst ones, dude. These are the
Mhm.
worst ones. They're the ones that will tell you that they want to see you win, but you just have this gut feeling of like that, like jealousy. You can just feel it. They don't genuinely want to see
Yeah.
you win. And those are the worst because they're pretending to be someone that you want them to be, but it's not actually them. And I believe that those are the three types of people. And like the people you want in your corner are the winners. Anyone else, it should be easy. Hard at first, easier in the end when you realize that like you're going to be happier surrounding yourself with people that make you happy.
No, absolutely. And I love what you said about I knew it was coming with the third one because that's one of those things where there's those people who call on you to check on you and see how you are. And there are the people that call on you to compare themselves to where they're at in life,
Yes.
with
Oh,
you.
goosebumps.
I know
Yes.
goosebumps all the
Yes.
time, but it's so
Yes.
true. And I'm the same exact way when it comes to, your friend circle is going to constantly change. We're all evolving, and some people either don't evolve at all or they don't evolve at the same rate. You're not going to level up at the same time. And sometimes, sadly, that is family. And I've talked on here before about family. They don't understand what I'm doing with like podcasting or social media. They're like, "Oh my
Mm,
God, social media is the devil." And I'm
yep.
like, to me, I like it. I mean, it's cool. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of haters and weird stuff out there, but it's been a really awesome opportunity to get to be more self-aware too, and to meet new
Mm,
people. So I don't know. It's one of those weird things, but I liked what you said about that community piece of like there's so many different types of people to be able to filter through them and know like who actually has your best interest and actually wants to see you succeed. Because I know it's a selfish world and we're all inherently a little bit selfish. We want to see ourselves succeed,
mhm.
but
Oh,
there are
yeah.
people but there's people who are there to be like to cheer you on and support you, but then you just got to watch out for the ones that are faking it. It's it's dangerous. It's like toxic.
Dude, absolutely. And I think you
Mm-hmm.
said something that's really important and it's awareness. I think like one of the
Mm-hmm.
keys to life, like I actually run a 12-week self-mastery program and the first lesson is on self-awareness. When you become self-aware and even like socially aware, you start to get those gut feelings that will give you kind of like an intuition on if
Mm-hmm.
this person genuinely like is a good person for your life or if this person isn't, and you should trust that, but that requires a certain level of self-awareness. I feel like so many people walk around this world just like unconsciously. They're not self-aware. They won't take full responsibility for
Yeah.
their actions. So they're kind of just like almost like robots roaming the world, right? So it's like self-awareness, I feel like is everything. And just like understanding too, like, yeah, like there's some fucking weirdos on social media. And yeah, there's negativity. There's
Yeah.
also like thousands upon millions of really cool, inspirational people. And instead of your message just reaching your fucking family dinner table, it's now reaching thousands upon
It's
thousands
true.
of people through social media.
And it's just creating that relatability too. At least the ones out there trying to tell their personal story. Like I've read your captions on your photos too, and some people just stop at the picture. They don't even care what the words say. I get it. Like there's the scrollers and the
Yeah.
trollers. Yeah. So, but
Scrollers are the trollers. Oh, I like that.
but it's I know for you, like you put your personal story in there. Like I remember back when I first started, I had posted like some photos from when I was in the military, and I had to like pump for my son like in the back of trucks, and I was like sweating my butt off, and I was like, this is called Operation Milk, like this whole thing, because it was an actual real hard time in the military for me, because I was like,
Yeah.
I had to be a leader, I had to be out there in the field. How was I going to do this? Because it's how I wanted to feed my son. So I'm literally in the back of like different buildings and range towers. It didn't matter. Like I was pumping milk, having to like have the whole sanitary area, but it was like being yourself and sharing your story and your struggle, because then other women come out of the woodwork, and it's like, I had a similar situation, or because I mean that's another great place for social media, because maybe you're direct. So if you're in a small town, there's not a lot of people to really interact with. So it's really been great for that. So it's
Dude,
just interesting.
absolutely. It's not that people need the permission, but with you
Mm,
posting that, it just gives females that have gone through that same thing. Like breastfeeding is huge, right? Like it's a
yeah.
big thing. It's like a special thing. I've been there with my daughter as well.
Hmm.
And it's like it almost gives the females permission. They're like, oh, I don't feel shame or guilt around this thing, right? Like I feel okay. So sharing your like story is vulnerable and sometimes as challenging it may be, it really does just like give these females permission to do the same, right? So I just like I think there's so much power in sharing your story and what you've gone through. I just think you never
Hmm.
know who's watching and you never know who will like pull a piece of your story and apply it to their life and change the trajectory. Fun,
Let's try it
fun.
again. Cut.
Trajectory
It's a hard
of
word. It's
your
okay.
life. It is, dude. I'm trying to be fucking smart. I'm trying to use big words
You're
here.
good. That's funny. And then I did want to touch on something else you said. I always like backtrack because I think of these things and I get inspired by new questions. But with wealth, like health and wellness, obviously a very big point for your transformation, you would say. And I would say the same for me. Like the gym became therapy, it became church, it became all the things like that.
Yes.
So with women that you help or other people that are there, there's so many that are so afraid of the gym, thinking that it's not a good piece. I think health and wellness is an important piece to every person's life or could provide benefit to every person's life. How would you weigh on that topic of like people that, oh, I don't want to go to a gym or I don't have to work out to be, I'm so happy without, living a healthy lifestyle, even if they don't think of the longevity of life, like just to
Till they get
live
fucking
longer. I mean, like,
diabetes.
yeah,
Like then you get diabetes, and then they're the ones that complain on social media. I have all these health issues. I have to
yeah.
get this procedure done. And it's like, do you not realize that your lack of self-care is what led you here?
Hmm.
So you have good questions. I like your question.
I've gotten better over time.
Yeah, I love it. I think that like the gym is a place for me. Like you said, it's like church, it's therapy, it's all these
Hmm.
things all in one. It's like my favorite place to be. I just love it. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning and I'm like, get me to my fucking second home.
I know.
But for some people, it's not that thing, and that's fine. So I think that the gym could also be your gym, could be kayaking or hiking, but like you got to move your body and you
Yeah.
got to take care of yourself. And if you don't, then be my guest and be happy. But one thing that's just drove me fucking mad these days is the body positive influencers
Oh,
that
I was
are
just gonna say that.
promoting
Okay.
shoving their fucking
Yes.
face full of shit food and preaching body positivity. Body positivity is treating your body positively. So if you are consuming Coke for breakfast and then
Yes.
downing a 12 pack of donuts and you come on here and you tell me you love yourself, I'm like, why are you fucking showing your body hate on a daily basis? So it's like, don't go to the fucking gym. That's fine. But take care of yourself, man. And if you don't want to take care of yourself, I don't want to fucking see your post with your diagnosis about like life is so unfair, because no, life is unfair to those of like in that situation, you're not treating your body fairly. So
Yep.
no, that's what you fucking get. It drives me fucking
I was
berserk.
gonna, so that I'm
Berserk.
so happy that you said that. I guess it's not even a question anymore, but the body positivity thing is almost like the opposite these days. You think it's like, oh, embrace, being strong, or no, they're embracing the fact that it's like it's okay to be fat and disgusting, and like and not in a way it's like it's okay if I'm big boned or something. It's the fact that you can eat unhealthy. It's okay because that's your body type, or that I'm happy with this. I'm like, yeah, but it's not healthy. Don't promote it as a health movement. Like you can live your
Yes.
life how you
Yes.
want. If you enjoy eating 1,000 donuts in a day, great, good for you. If that makes you
Good
happy,
for you.
but
Yes.
but don't preach that as that's a positive thing, because now you're influencing the people to continue to be lazy.
Dude.
You're encouraging it. So I'm glad that you said that, because I just like was like, yes, thank you, someone I can have a conversation about this with, because that's a huge like censored thing right there. Like it'll piss a bunch of people off
Censored.
just to hear body positivity is a bad
But
movement.
notice the people that it pisses off, the people that are
Yep.
overweight and not willing to take action. And
Yeah.
that's just like the truth. And like I used to be, like I used to do these like reels and I would like show my like stomach because I have stretch marks.
Mhm.
And I got a bunch of girls being like, yeah, like all bodies. But then I'm like, I don't want to put the wrong message out there, because it's like my
Okay.
body
Yeah.
has stretch marks, right? Like,
Hmm.
but I'm healthy. I'm not overweight. So yes, like I'm preaching body
Yeah.
positivity, all different shapes, all different sizes. I understand that some girls are healthy at 170, while some are healthy at 140. So like I'm not saying it's a certain shape or size, but when
Yeah.
you are practicing negative habits on a daily basis and then preaching body positivity, that is so contradictory. Like that is not okay in my sense. It's like in order for someone to actually preach body positivity, I think their daily habit should embody treating their body positively, right? And
Yeah.
like outside of that, it's like you just see people it's just it like angers me. It like angers
Yeah.
me on a deep level, because I'm like, you are like misleading people and you are telling people that it is okay to be unhealthy. But at the same time, like I said, it's those same people that will complain when they get a diagnosis that literally just reflects the food that they've been eating for the last 10 years.
Yeah. And I mean, food's already very hard, even when it's healthy. You have to read the labels
Mm-hmm.
anyways. But it's just the encouragement from even very influential people. It's the fact that we already live in it's pretty easy to be lazy because everything is at our fingertips. You can DoorDash, you don't literally don't have to move if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a weird culture we're in, and like segueing from that with like there's so much judgment right now anyways. With
Mm-hmm.
everything that
Mm-hmm.
we do, there's always going to be judgment.
Yeah.
um but with women specifically, I always use the analogy of like women at the bar in the restroom are the nicest to each other than in like real life, because that's when you get the most compliments and stuff. Is, oh my god, you look so pretty, and it's like whether they mean it or not, but it's like when people are when the women are nice to each other is like there. But so how would you, like, my purpose behind this podcast too, if you've listened to any of the episodes,
Mm-hmm.
I really do want to encourage a healthier and strong
Mm-hmm.
group of women out there who genuinely want to help each other and support each other and see like let each other
Yep.
shine, you know?
Yep.
So what do you think we're missing from the women's circle of empowerment? What do you think we're missing, or what do we need as a community to become better?
Women who genuinely want to see each other win and like stop
Mm-hmm.
comparing each other. It's
Yeah.
so funny. Like that's exactly what my group is. Like what you just
Mm-hmm.
said is probably verbatim what I've said in the past when it comes to my community. It's like a culture where females genuinely support females. Like, and if you're comparing yourself, like you become aware of it. Like I think like the feelings of comparison and jealousy, if we allow them to, they can teach us so much about ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I've said this before, right? So I think like what females need is like to understand the emotions in their body, to bring awareness to the emotions in their body, get curious and learn from them. For example, like a huge thing is like jealousy. Jealousy comes out as like hatred and it's ugly, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
jealousy can teach you so much. When I went through my phase where I was jealous of every single female that walked into the gym, what it was showing me is that like I want to be fit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to look like that. Like, I want to practice the consistency that that girl practices. I want to be as disciplined as that girl. Like, I want to eat the same way that that girl does. Like, I want to nourish
Yeah.
my body. So I think what the community needs is more people who want to see each other win and like just like helping people. Like when I help my clients, like when I get on a call and I see a shift in a client's eyes and then I see them like show up to a class in a sports bra when last year they didn't feel okay even just
Yeah.
showing up to class, I'm like, this is so cool. If we had more people like this, you would go into Walmart and everyone would be talking about how awesome life is versus talking about how expensive gas is, right? And like
Yeah.
that's what I want, like a world where there's more like happy, healthy individuals. And I think what it requires is like more people who genuinely want to see the people around them win. Then you want to see the world
Yeah.
win, right? And like that's like the ripple effect. So there's so many things that it needs, but I think one thing that kind of like covers a lot of areas is like just genuine, good human beings that want to see each other win, females specifically too, because I feel like females just get so caught up in that comparison. And like I made a post and it was like, if I could choose to be anyone in the world, I would choose to be me. And I meant that. And I think that
Yeah.
if everybody had the understanding that like the biggest superpower that you have is that you are uniquely you.
Yeah.
And that's fucking cool. And like it's going to be different. Everybody's
Yeah.
different, right? Like I feel like we have like a similar vibe, but there's
Mm-hmm.
going to be so many things about us that are different, and that's
Yeah.
like what makes you you, and that's what makes me me, and that's what makes your podcast powerful, and that's
Yeah.
what makes me powerful, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like I want to see you win. I don't know you very well, but like if tomorrow you blew up to like 3 million followers, I'd be like, that fucking bitch, I was on her podcast. That is cool. Good for you, right? Like I want to see
Yeah.
you win, and we
We need
need
that.
more of that. We need more of that.
Yeah, definitely. It's that good energy. You put in the good word, the goodness to the world, and it comes back like, triple, double, 10
Mm-hmm.
times, who knows? But I do think it's a
Mm-hmm.
part of that, like become part of different communities, like tell a girl at the gym, like she looks great. Like that was hard for me for a long
Yes.
time. In my head, I'd
Yes.
be thinking like, wow, like her, like legs are freaking awesome, or shoulders or something. Like, just go up. Like, it was so hard for me to give the first like compliment. And I was like thinking the good thing. And I was like, I'm just going to keep this good thought to myself. That's my good deed of the day. Like, just say it out loud. Um,
Yes.
but whether it's
Yes.
like community or just finding some other female friends, because I think we're losing touch too with reality a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
with the
Mm-hmm.
social space. We're kind of just interacting that way. That's why I like this, but also just at the gym, or have like you have your group of women that you train. And that's powerful because it puts them in a place where they're accepted and loved for who they are. And
Yes.
I think that's so
Yes.
important, because we can preach all these things we want, but until we actually take action to the things that we're preaching and show up as ourselves, which is actually not as easy sometimes in the beginning, because we go through all these dark places. We're not who we're meant to be
Mm-hmm.
right away. Like, we're not who we're meant
Mm-hmm.
to be until we decide to give up the things that we're not. The things that we're
Mm-hmm.
living for our
Mm-hmm.
family, our friends, our
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds and everything like that. So I think that that's a good tip that you had. And I had to have my little 2 cents in there, because
Dude, I fucking love everything that you have to say. I think
thank you.
complimenting females, like it's like my daughter, she's 15 and she's at the gym with me every single morning.
Yeah.
15 years old, and this kid compliments everyone, every single person.
Wow.
Love your hair, you look so good. And it's like, that's the shit, dude. That's the shit. And like
Yeah.
sometimes it feels weird and it feels uncomfortable. It also, have you ever been complimented on a day where maybe you feel kind of down and it literally just turned your entire day around? Someone's like,
Yes.
you're beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God. So if
Yeah.
you could do that to people's days, how cool is that? That you could literally change the
Yep.
trajectory of someone's day,
Yeah.
right?
It's true. Even when someone just a simple smile to someone in the morning
Yes.
blows like minds. But that it's so true that, I mean, it was like recent, like, I was at the gym, and I train all the time. But when I went through my competitions, obviously there's body dysmorphia that like happens, where you're like, wow, I
Mm,
looked like super
yep.
shredded at one point, and now I'm like, I'm healthy and I like what I look like. But there was a point where someone's like, wow, like your, whatever, your legs like looked really great. And I was like, really? And I was like, my whole day I was just like, yeah, just like walking around like I was the shit. It's like, but it's like little things
Just
like that
wearing the
really matter.
shortest shorts, like check
Yeah.
out my legs.
Yeah. I'm Quadzilla. Like, come at me.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
am
so
the
true,
literal
though.
shit.
And it's so simple. It costs $0 to give a compliment.
It is. Oh my God. It's just so funny because I think people think there's this big scientific answer to life, and that's what's keeping them stuck. They're like, I would change, but it's really complicated and it's really hard. Cool. That's keeping you stuck, right? Like it's so simple. Like everything
Hmm.
we're talking about right now, this is not fucking science.
Science.
This is not math. This is not calculus. This is going for a walk, looking at somebody, seeing something you like, and saying that thing. Because we are so focused on everything that's wrong versus what's right. So it's like, it's just so simple. It's such a simple message, but it's such a powerful message.
It really is. And mindset is everything. People are, I mean, in social media, you can be whoever you want, as you know. And I mean, you're vulnerable on there. The people that are the ones I'm starting to gravitate towards, because I'm changing everything that I'm following and looking at and consuming. Because as a creator, it's like you want to consume things that are going to feed your inspiration. So it's like,
Absolutely.
it's business stuff, it's mindset stuff, it's like badass women. I'm like, cool, these are the people I'm going to follow and kind of, get that inspiration from. Because originally it
Mhm.
was like, oh, Nugget and all these different things that are just funny or goofy. And I'm like, it's just like, I don't know, poisoning your brain with just like bullshit to pass the day by, when I'm like, I could be inspired, because creating is like the culture we're in right now. You just want to create, create, create. I'm becoming a better
Yeah.
writer. Like, I'm learning how to write better.
Yep.
Podcasting, that's a learning thing. I tend to ramble and have run-on sentences and stuff. So I'm like, I'm learning to write better,
Same with
talk
me.
better.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, I'm learning. But I think it's very interesting that, like, when you show up vulnerable, like, I'm happy that, and I didn't worry about this, but getting on here with you and you being exactly who I thought you were going to be, because that's what you're portraying who you are. You're being
Because
who
some
you
people aren't
are.
though.
They
Because
aren't.
some people aren't. And that's like what's scary about life. That's what scares me. I would say what's one of your biggest fears? Like that's a question you get asked all the time. And I've never really thought about this until right now, but it's like meeting somebody, shaking their hand, and them just like morphing into who they think I want them to be. Cause I've had
Yeah.
that like lately, that's been like the name of my game, is like building relationships with people and having that gut intuition that something's off. And then realizing like that person isn't who they say they are. So like be who you say you are with like no shame. Don't try to
Absolutely.
impress anyone but yourself. And it's like social media as well, just to kind of like circle back, because this is going to seem off topic, but I like did a massive unfollowing spree. I was following like
Mm-hmm.
4,000 people, and I'm like, I don't even care if it's just people posting pictures with their dog and their kids. Like, if it's not inspiring me, I want a
Mm-hmm.
feed that I look at and I'm like, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, right? So I just did this massive unfollow, and it's not with any like negativity. It's just like, I know the type of stuff that I want to digest on a daily basis, and
Mm-hmm.
my social media is going to reflect that.
Yep. And another thing too with that, because I've dwindled mine down to like 300 something. And there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of offended, people, and I'm like, whatever, at the end of the day,
Same.
like it is what it is. If I'm not a follow for follow, I'm not a like, oh, shout for like a no reason at all. If
Literally
you want to shout me out,
cannot
shout me out.
stand. Show me out, dude. Absolutely. Like, I've been
Do
sharing
it.
your shit, but if you were to have slid into my DMs and said, "Hey, girl, like your page, shout out for shout out," I would have been like, "Fuck off."
I
I
hate
probably
S
would have
for
sent you a
S.
voice
Yeah.
note. I probably
Yeah.
would have sent you. I would have sent a voice note and been like, "Hey, absolutely fucking not." I hate when people do that.
I don't
And
like
also,
it.
some people will
Yeah.
do it, and it's like they have like 100 followers, and they're like, "Shout out for shout out." I'm like, real cool. Thank you. That's a good time. Like, no. And why?
I
Like, I
don't
don't
get.
know you. Like, I don't know you.
No, and
Why would
it's
I
like,
shout you out?
that's like the oldest trick in the book for growth. That's how they used to
Yeah.
do it before. Oh, we actually cared about
Uh,
creativity and inspiration. It was like, oh, shout for shout, because that's how you gain other people's, oh, wow, who's this person? But a lot, it's more,
mhm.
I guess you could say on like the modeling side of things is more of that. And I'm like, and I'm like, no, delete, block, or delete,
Yeah.
delete, delete. I'm like, it's just so stupid. And I knew I was going to go on a tangent with that too, and I completely lost my train of thought on it. But it's like it's just the genuine support from people and who
And
you
it's
want to
not
show
even
up
like
as.
it's not like the end of the world. I just find I just don't like it. Like, I will
It's weird
definitely
to
share
me.
people to my story if
Yeah.
I like their vibe and I like what they're pushing. But like, if someone had like 3 million followers, but say they were like a porn star, and this isn't anything against porn stars
Yeah.
whatsoever. Okay. So say they were
Yeah.
a porn star, or say they were, it doesn't even matter. If I knew that they were going to do a shout out for shout out, and I knew I was going to gain like
Mm-hmm.
40,000 followers, but those 40,000 followers were like men that wanted to see naked pictures of me, I wouldn't want them. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
want them to come to my page. And that's not, again, it's not to say anything against that industry, because I literally like, I'm like a judge free zone, but like, it's not about just the follower account. It's about like, why are these people following me? They're following me because they fuck with my vibe and my
Yeah.
message. So why would I want someone to shout me out if like their audience like doesn't fuck with my message? Does that make sense? Right?
There's no value being given to you or received
No,
from them because it's not what
no,
it makes no
no.
sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And like, it's just so cool to me that like my social media, like 70% of my social media following is females. And
That's
that's so
awesome.
cool to me. I love males too, but I'm like, female
Yep.
empowerment. I train females only. I have a daughter. Like, I'm all about that. It's like my
Yes.
superpower. I just love it. And it's
Yeah.
so cool for me to see that I'm attracting the right audience. So for me, it's like less about like, I love social media growth, but I
Mm-hmm.
like the right social media growth.
No, absolutely. And I remember the train that left the station. So it's the fact that if you're following like thousands and thousands of accounts, you can't even see everything that's being posted. So you have to
No.
follow the ones that you want to make sure you don't miss. Like, I want to be able to support my friends and the people
Yes.
and the things that I want to see. So if you're following like thousands of accounts, first of all, that tells me you're just a follow for follow type
Yeah.
person. Or
Yeah.
two, you like I'm just not going to be able to see anything like that you're
Mm-mm.
posting. So I have to dwindle it down to the stuff that I actually freaking want to see, that helps me and inspires me. Like I said, like I just unfollow a bunch of things that don't help me. Or it was back in the day when I'm like, I don't even know, like you haven't posted in like years. Like why, it's just crazy. Social media is a crazy world.
Exactly. Exactly. It's such a crazy world, but I just like, I really believe in that, like your surroundings and like the words you use and the things that you
Mm-hmm.
decide to digest on a daily basis, food or social media, have so much impact. It's like, I'm very specific with what I want to see. And if I see something that I don't want to see, like, I don't owe anyone a follow, and they don't owe me a follow either. Like, you want to be on my page, that's great. Like, if you don't, then you don't have to be there. Like, I love the people that are like, I'm unfollowing, and it's like, why did you tell me? Just leave. I wouldn't have noticed. It's like, bye. See
Don't
you
care.
never. Yes,
Yeah, no
exactly.
hard feelings actually, because I'm not going to lose sleep over. I literally give this many fucks about none.
Yeah, like
Like,
none. It's gone. We can't see them. They're not there. They don't exist.
that's so funny. So we've covered a lot of ground, and I'm super excited where everything went, but I know that you're a busy woman and you've got to get back to it. So I want you to share with everyone where they can follow you, see what you're up to, and find those crazy videos that I was talking about, because they're freaking amazing.
Dude, let's get juicy. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty much Kirsten Mark on every single platform.
Mhm.
Dark hair, big boobs, and tattoos. You can't
Yeah.
really miss me. Like how I always explain
Yes.
myself. So the real Kirsten Mark on Instagram and TikTok, Kirsten Mark on Facebook. I'm active on
Yep.
YouTube. I pretty much am like a platform queen. I'm like everywhere. You can't
I
get
love
rid
that.
of me.
Yes, like I will be here forever.
I will
But
be here
yeah.
forever.
I love it. Even with the haters, if I get censored, it's fine. I'll make a new one. You'll find me. They're like, don't
Dude,
worry, you
I
won't miss
know, dude.
me.
I'll be here. Dude, consistency. That's how we end it. Consistency.
Yes.
The repetitions keep going. Dude, social media is a long game. It's a long game, but you like, I've been consistent for like 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Eight
And
years. Fucking wild.
yeah, no, and I love it. And I really do appreciate you coming on, taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on and talk with me, talk with the audience. It means a lot, and you have so much good insight. And hopefully down the road we can get you on again, and we'll have another awesome conversation.
Dude, I want to get you on my podcast. I want to get you on my
Yes,
podcast.
absolutely. I'm game. You let me know.
Cool. I fucking love it. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I hope anyone that is listening has the best day of their entire existence.
I love that. And thank you again, everyone listening. Thanks for tuning in. Be adaptable, be reckless.
Never stop dreaming.